The following program contains the views and opinions of the hosts, speakers, and participants. They do not reflect the policies of the producers, advisors, and advertisers of AU's Paws Radio. Its advisors, advertisers, nor the position of Adelphi University, the Board of Trustees, administrative faculty, or its affiliates. Paws web radio station encourages freedom of speech but does not endorse any specific viewpoints or messages. Listener discretion is advised, especially for potentially sensitive or controversial topics. Hey, it's Tayla, and welcome back to Inner Monologue. I'm literally recording this in the green room of the Performing Arts Center because the Paws radio station is being cleaned and decluttered and fixed in a sense. So I'm recording on my own here. And the light's not turning on. It's feeling very ominous. It's feeling very ghost story, but we rise. Today, I thought I would tell some silly little stories about strange things that men have said to me, because this was inspired by an event that occurred recently where I accidentally said yes to go on a date with a man as a lesbian with a girlfriend. Very fun. Everyone thought that the story was funny and that I should tell the people. So here I am. As I was thinking of this story, I also thought of other things that strange men have said to me. And I thought we could just make this a fun little story time. Because, hey, I don't see men having these things told to them, ever. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to start with a story from when I worked at Starbucks. I was 17, I think, or 18. I think I was 18. I was 18 turning 19. And I was working at Starbucks over the summer because I was home. And for context, I have a septum piercing. I have, how many piercings do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 piercings, one of which is my septum. All visible, all not for the male gaze, all for me. Anyway, so I'm just working, and this is, I think, after a lot of crazy shit happened at the Starbucks, where I almost walked out during a rush and quit, which that is, I just want to say that is not a reflection of something that I would do. That's just something to note to gauge how bad some days at this place were. It was fun because I love making coffee, but love making drinks, and I worked at a different coffee shop this past summer. But that's just a gauge because I am most definitely not a quitter, even when sometimes I probably should quit. And there were some times where I was like, this is so bad. What if I just walk out? Like, I don't care. I don't need the reference. And then I was like, oof, that's bad. Anyway, so this man who's probably like 40s walks in, and this other guy walks in with him. They're like friends, whatever. They're not from here. We worked at a hotel, so there were a lot of people from not the state that I live in that were there who were staying there. So I'm like making their drinks, whatever. And this man just starts talking to me, specifically me. And I had a name tag on, so he like saw my name. And my manager or like someone asked me like, oh, like you have the drinks, Tayla? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, like Tayla, you have the drinks. And I was like, huh, you're not funny. So I keep going, and he knows that my name is Tayla now. And he asks me how old I am, which in hindsight I shouldn't have said, but there were times at this Starbucks and at other places I worked at where by telling my age they gave us an extra tip because they're like, oh, you have to save for college here for the textbooks, and I loved it. So I would tell my age at any opportunity I had for the money. So I was like, oh, I'm 18, and then he's like, oh my god, like you're such a baby. And I was like, literally going to scream. Like, no thank you. I was just looking at him and I was like, And then he was like, oh, like you're so cute. Like, I love that thing you got going on. He was pointing like on himself to his nose. And I was like, oh, my septum piercing? And he was like, yeah, like, it shows that you're cute, but like you get a little freaky. Hey, so that was not my intent. That was not my intent when I went to the piercing shop. I wasn't like, hey guys, give me something that'll make me look cute and a little freaky. No, I said I want a septum piercing because I wanted my septum pierced since I was like 12 years old. So I was like, don't call me cute. And he's like, why? Like, you're not cute. And I was like, no, just don't call me that. And then, I was like, you could say I'm cool. Like, I felt like I was teaching a toddler to, like, use his words for the first time. It's like, you call me cool, don't call me cute, don't call me freaky. And my manager and, like, other people were near me and, like, did not do shit. I don't know if they heard exactly what was going on either, because the Starbucks was usually very busy. So, honestly, I don't blame them because there was probably a lot of other things going on. But, yeah. And then he left and he was like, oh, like, well, see you around. And I feel like he said something else and I don't remember what it was, but it was something very strange. I was like, god damn, like, what? Hold on, I definitely have notes from this story. I'm gonna go back and look at them. Okay, notes were not found, but yeah, I think he probably said something about my smile too. I think he did say something about my smile. And I was like, once again, not for you. But yeah, so that's one story that most definitely came to mind for me. Okay, now for the story where I accidentally said yes to a date. So, for context, I'm a lesbian. I have a girlfriend. There we go. So I was in a building in my school and I was throwing something away. I'm going to be like somewhat vague for the privacy of my school and the people involved in the story, including myself. So I was in a building in my school and I was throwing something away and I was leaving. And this guy that I've seen like a couple of times was like, hey, like, can I ask you something? I was like, yeah. And he was like, what's your favorite movie? And I was like, ooh. And I was like, probably Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or a Jordan Peele movie, like any of them. Get Out, Us, any of the above. And he was like, okay, cool. And I was like, what's yours? He told me his favorite movie, and I was like, oh, I've never seen that, but I've been told to watch it, because it was true. I was told to watch this film many times, and he was like, oh, hey, like, maybe we could watch it together sometime. Now, I say yeah a lot, and I say a lot of other things a lot. I use a lot of filler words, including so. So I started my sentence off with, yeah. And then I continued to be like, I do have rehearsals and stuff, which is true. I have rehearsal tomorrow night. And I was kind of explaining what I have going on as to why I cannot. And it was like, okay, like, that sounds great. Like, I'll see you around then. And I was like, yeah, like, can't wait. And then I walked out and I was like, was I just asked on a date and did I just say yes? So then I texted my girlfriend, who tends to let me know when people are flirting with me because I can't figure it out myself. I just think everyone wants to be friends, including her when we first started dating. But I texted her, I was like, hey, so this just happened. Did I just get asked out on a date, or was he being nice? And she said, he's asking you out. And I was like, oh. And he's seen my girlfriend a lot, but I don't think he's seen us together, but also with my other friends. So, like, I don't think he knows that we're dating, which is an issue. So at some point I will bring this up, especially because I will not be going on said dates because I have girlfriends, and even if I didn't, I don't date men. But yeah, that was a fun little story that everyone finds hilarious, because that is very much something I would do. But yeah, those are my main stories about men that I haven't repressed. There were also some men that I met where my girlfriend used to work who used to ask her questions about me and say very strange sexual things about me, because we were dating, and they're like, oh my god, like cool, like lesbians, but like not in a nice way, and like a let me sexualize you sort of way. Yeah, so that's that. I think what I really hate is that I'm the kind of person who wants to like get back at you. Like if you say something mean to me, like I'll say it right back, and I want to like, get mad / get even. But when it comes to men being strange and mean, in the second interaction, like the second story I just told wasn't a man being strange or mean. He genuinely just thought I was straight and single. So I'm talking about the first one, the Starbucks one. It's like for my own safety in those situations, I can't even really say what I want to. Like I was able to say a little bit like, oh, like don't call me cute, but I couldn't like fully get mad at him because like who knows, he could like meet me in the parking lot after and like steal me or kill me or something. So I think that's what really annoys me when interactions like that happen, because I'm very much the kind of person who wants to do something about whatever's going on. So yeah, it's wild out there. Please stay safe, whoever you are, wherever you are, because shit's crazy. People are creepy. Things happen. Stay safe. Give your friend or someone your location. I sound like my mom, like before I go somewhere. Give me your location. Like, don't drive home alone. Do this, do that. But it's true. Anyways, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, not watching. I always want to say thank you so much for watching, and maybe it's because I was chronically on YouTube at a certain point in my life. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. I will see you all next week. Goodbye.